Ian, big news happened recently. Square Enix announced that they're selling off some older IPs and studios.
Yep. So Square is selling off much of their like Western properties to Embracer Group. Embracer Group, I believe, spawned from THQ Nordic and maybe someone else. I know they've changed names a few times. So Square Embracer Group has agreed to pay $300 million to Square Enix to acquire studios like Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, Crystal Dynamics, and those would cover games like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Legacy of Kain, Thief.
The old Eidos computer stuff like Thief. I used to love Thief so much.
All of that. Thief is great. It's still
great.
fun.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah. So that's, like I said, that's all of their Western stuff. It always seemed weird to me that they had all of this Western stuff. I can't even remember when they acquired that, but I don't think it was ever their most popular stuff. It's probably a lot of, money to hold on to. And Square has a lot of new businesses that they would like to try.
So they're selling these to prop up a new business, Ian?
Yeah, they're selling these to prop up a few new businesses. One of the big ones that they want to do is they want to get into AI. But the big one is they want to do blockchain games. They still want to do NFT stuff. So they're selling off a bunch of their properties to fund these experimental dips into NFT, AI, blockchain, which is basically the same thing. And they've already made a lot of moves doing this.
Can we go over the New Year's letter from the president? Remember that?
Oh yeah, where is that on here? If you want to go over it, go for it.
I'll put the link here, Ian. Around New Year's, Square Enix announced. There's the letter, Ian. They announced that they want to go down this avenue of blockchain and NFTs, and we were the backlash was fierce and swift then, as it has been with nearly every single NFT game announcement the past 5 months or so. GameStop is putting in what was it, $250 million or $300 million into their NFT bullshit marketplace. It's the way to go when you want to try to grab money from idiots, because that's who they are. They're all marks. So they're getting into this. So you're going to get some people, but by and large, most people aren't stupid and want to keep their money they have and not get grifted. So this was from the president. What was this? Yosuke Masuda. The metaverse was a hot topic in 2021. Facebook changed its name in October to Meta. The metaverse garnered so much attention that 2021 was dubbed the metaverse year. I didn't dub it that. I don't know who the fuck dubbed it the metaverse year.
Never dubbed it
What
that.
advances happened in 2021 that the metaverse became adopted or people gave a shit about it? Besides an awful commercial that Facebook put out once they changed the name to Meta that everyone made fun of. Talked about XR technology. Talks about NFT here. We unveiled in May 2020. The medium-term business strategy we unveiled in May 2020 identified AI, the cloud, and blockchain games as new domains on which we should focus our investments. And we have subsequently been aggressive in our R&D efforts and investments in those areas, and goes into blockchain games, be they single player or online. Games have traditionally involved a unidirectional flow whereby creators such as ourselves provide a game to the consumers that play them. By contrast, blockchain games, which have emerged from their infancy and are at this very moment entering a growth phase, are built upon the premise of a token economy, and therefore hold the potential to enable self-sustaining game growth. The driver that most enables such self-sustaining game growth is diversity, both in how people engage with interactive content like games and in their motivations for doing so.
Yeah, self-sustained game growth, just like that Ubisoft game that got shut down after selling 27 NFTs.
When they say self-sustaining, they're talking about in-game economies. They're talking about the whatever token or whatever token attached to the game increasing in value. That's what this is saying. It's not even it's so transparent. They can't even pretend. Advances in tokenetic economies will likely add further momentum to this trend of diversification. I see the, quote, play to earn concept that has people so excited as a prime example of this. I don't have to read further than that.
No, he wrote in a letter just to say what Decrypt says as well. The contrast people who play to have fun and play to contribute suggests that the latter is possible in blockchain games where NFT assets may earn token rewards based on their gameplay. But we've already seen how successful that is. Both between lack of interest, like the Ubisoft games, or something like Axie Infinity that lost like $750 million. Yeah. So I mean, it's not stable either. The only thing I can say about this is, yeah,
they've been hacked twice the past month and a half.
Axie has been hacked twice.
Oh, excuse me, once. They were hacked.
Once.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we talked about that briefly.
Once. Oh, there was an update to it. Okay.
Yeah.
It would take several years to recover some of the funds. That was an April update.
Okay. Shit, lost where I was going with that. Yeah, but anyways, we've seen that whether through hacking or not, that this is not something.
Flash loans.
It's not stable. And at this point, we've already started to see, just in terms of the amount of discourse generated, people are losing interest. And they're losing interest fast. And to me, this looks like good money being thrown after bad. I think what happened is a lot of people invested in this heavily a year ago, and now they see the interest waning. So now they're throwing more money into it to try to keep their initial investment worth something. I think that's what's happening here. I don't think there's actually any desire for crypto tech, NFT games or blockchain games. This at this point is them trying to regain or recoup some of the money they've already lost.
One of my favorite British sayings being in for a penny, in for a pound.
Right.
Like you said, sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah.
Throwing good money after bad. Well, we're stuck. Yeah, GameStop. Maybe you should have been in on this. You could have made some money off the NFT marketplace, a year ago. Now you're trying to get this off the ground now when it's going to be dead.
And it just seems like one of the strongest fallacies that people always fall for too. And I mean, it's very not to just try to wedge it into something, but it's similar with the Amico. People get so invested in something, whether it's emotionally or physically or mentally, that they cannot see the forest for the trees.
Sure. So play to earn concept. I see the play to earn concept as people so excited as a prime example. I don't know who's excited for play to earn. Like, I don't know, so.
Well, I mean, that's what the NFT games are called. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously some people out there playing them, but no one's ever talked to me about an NFT game. I don't know anyone personally playing
the gambit is that it'll be, first of all, it has to be fun still to get people into it a little bit. But now,
sure.
Here's the thing, Ian, you can then earn your tokens in the game, and then it has real world value. You can trade around. But if there's not a real world use for something, at some point the value underpinning it in terms of dollars disappears, like NFTs. There's a reason that NFTs have crashed by and large, except for like a couple they call the blue chippers, the big ones, like the fucking dumb apes, because those are the ones that Jimmy Fallon fucking puts on a show, or Lady Gaga owns one, or whoever the hell else celebrity has one. I don't know if Lady Gaga has one, but whatever. The point is that without the hype and without people thinking that it has some sort of use, like in the game, there's no monetary value involved, and then you're not earning anything anymore. You're just wasting your time.
Right. And it's like we said about the Ubisoft thing when we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. The game goes down. Yeah, sure. Technically you own an NFT, but I mean, who the fuck wants it?
Can you do anything with it? No.
It's like having Confederate currency.
Exactly. I used to have the old currency. We used to go to the historical places. You'd buy a little pack of oldie-timey currency. I think what makes this so weird and damning is that they have these properties that they are selling, like Tomb Raider is still very viable. They make this made movies out of them the past few years. Like there's a couple, they just rebooted it. What was it, 5 years ago? Whenever they can make money with Tomb Raider still, and they're selling that off. It's just so weird.
I think Tomb Raider is the one that probably holds the most value. I don't know that a lot of the other stuff does, which is, I started to say this, I'm happy at least that the money that they're using to fund this bullshit is coming from stuff that they've sold off, as opposed to, I would hate it if they started using money that they had earmarked out. Basically, I'm glad they took the money from selling this stuff as opposed to trying to get into NFT heavily and then cutting the budgets for other stuff and then putting out, their series that have been good, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, stuff like that, turning to shit because they don't have the funds.
Well, and at least Embracer will probably do something with these properties. They're buying it for a reason.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Embracer will. I mean, they're going to get their money back on Tomb Raider. Deus Ex, I don't know. I guess you can do some remasters and try to revitalize that. I guess Legacy of Kain. I mean, that was popular at one point in time. That had had some success.
All of that stuff, if it put out a new game, it would do well enough.
It would do okay.
Yeah, it would do fine.
I think I played Legacy of Kain in the PC version. I believe it was like
my younger brother was really.
Was there
into
two or
those.
three of those?
There's more than 3.
Okay, I had like I think I had I had the second one on the.
There's Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and then Blood Omen 2.
Okay, I think I had one of the Reaver ones on PC. Whatever that was, 15, 17 years ago. It was pretty fun. I don't know if I beat it. So 300. When you look at 300 million, that's actually not a huge amount when you include Tomb Raider. Because like I said, if you can still put out a movie franchise, then that's worth it probably almost on its surface. But you can make Tomb Raider games probably still and have them be popular if they're good.
Sure.
That's one of the most popular characters probably created from the 90s.
And the reboots were supposed to be good, so I mean, she's kind of back in the public image. There was a 5 to 10 year period there where games of hers came out and no one cared. But ever since the reboot, it's been pretty well reviewed.
Were they announcing a new one? April 5th. There was April 5th last month. They said a new Tomb Raider is coming, built on Unreal Engine 5. So I guess, trust me, if they're buying this for 300 million, you're going to see a new Tomb Raider game. They're going to make their money back.
Oh yeah,
like almost immediately. They're going to make a lot of it back, right there. So because they did what? They did two new ones or 3?
There's 2 new Tomb Raiders. There's not 3 yet, I don't believe.
And there's 2 new movies. I can't keep track of them.
That you would have to tell me that.
Tomb Raider movie franchise. There was 2018. That was the first one, which I forgot came out. There was just the one. Probably maybe COVID screwed it up. Is it going to do a sequel? Did it make enough money? It didn't get great reviews. 52% Rotten Tomatoes. Tomb Raider reboots the franchise with a more grounded approach and a star who was more than.
So maybe they can't do a movie franchise anymore.
Sequel. They are doing a sequel. It hasn't been greenlit yet. Well, there you go. And Misha Green, the star, confirmed that she had the first draft of the script last year, called Tomb Raider Obsidian. So there's a script for the sequel.
Oh, okay.
So Tomb Raider you can make money on. People love Lara. I mean, people love her. Polygon boobs or not, they love her. And it's just the way it is. Come on, in the 90s.
Yeah, no, I mean that's they definitely toned that down though. That's no longer her. That's no longer her gimmick.
So long as they give it, they went to more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anything else? I just get discouraged when these companies. I mean, Square Enix has such a long history of good games, and when you imagine
they've bounced back in a good number of ways over the past couple of years too. Some quality Final Fantasy stuff, both online and single player. So yeah, it is disheartening to see this.
I mean, Ian, the pain on your face when they're going to announce a play to earn Dragon's Quest. Like you're gonna, exactly like that's where we're looking in the face basically. I mean, we're potentially looking at it because if they do it for a game no one heard of, it's more likely to fail. If they do it with a Final Fantasy game, you're going to get some people at least playing it. You're going to have backlash, but some people go, oh, okay, I like Final Fantasy. I'll check it out. Sorry, Ian, you're going to see little slime tokens show up soon. That'll be worth money. It's kind of sick when you think about it.
I'm not pleased.